Sir, I'd like to have a drink. I am in the first class section.
Yeah,
Let's get this
yours,
show on
you know that little
Rover.
room near the front of the ship? It's in there.
You mean the
And
storage?
it's stored in a bowl-shaped object near the ground. You have to drink it out of there.
My room's the toilet shower combo.
The shoilet. Said you wanted
All
an
right.
RV.
All right, do we have an intro for this one? Oh, okay. So, you have anything on the agenda for this week, and you in particular?
Me in particular?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's
I
like
mean,
we got-
well, I was thinking to be cool to like, what's it called? When you
Words.
do, when you do like the Final Four draft thing with the ships, whatever that's called.
Oh, March Madness.
Yeah, we can do our own little prediction. We build our own brackets for this thing, which probably isn't that
I'm
hard.
I'm thinking it's either gonna end up being the C1. What was the lineup again? I know that
Here.
the C1
All
MSR.
right. So in the
Cillian-
freighter division, we have the C1 Spirit and the
Hold on.
MSR.
Hold on. Man, if we're gonna do this, we gotta do it right.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? So when I do this, then you say, all right, in the freighter division, blah, blah, all the crap you were saying before, okay?
Okay. In
Go.
the freighter division, we have the C1 Spirit and the MSR.
Keep going.
In the Road Warrior division, we have the Stevie, and then we have the sir,
Sorry,
sir.
scrolling.
the Nursa Rover, also known as the Ursa Medevac. I'm
Come on.
watching this on Twitch. Let me switch screens.
Oh, you're like 20 minutes behind, dude. Come on.
In the Pathfinder division, for some reason, we have the 890 Jump and the 600i Explorer. That one I actually see. I can see it because it's supposed to be like the solo man's Carrack.
Kind of annoyed with this capitalized I. It looks like the 6001. All right, next division.
In the Underdog division, we have the Terrapin and then the Gladiator. I forgot they still make the Gladiator.
That's why it's in the underdog division.
The Speed Demons, the Fury LX, the Great Value TIE Fighter, and then the M50.
Uh-huh.
In the Heavy Duty division, the Working Man's Class, we've got the mother of all ships, the Reclaimer, and then its little brother, the Vulture.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize they both had the same job.
Yep. In the Alien division, we're just going to skip because they're both
Yeah.
garbage.
Who cares?
Yeah. In the Run and Gun, the Fighter division, we have the two ships that are expensive for everybody and there's a very limited window to buy.
Yeah.
F8C Lightning. Pray to God you got yourself a golden ticket to purchase that. And
Or
up
did a bunch
next,
of missions that failed
oh, that was the Hornet.
by the Hornet. That's it. There's no next. That's the last bracket.
Yep.
All right. So, okay, I'm not going to check this. We're going to keep it totally anonymized.
Hands
right?
down, C1 Spirit's going to beat the MSR.
I know, and that's
Yeah.
kind of sad. Because prior to the C1 existing, I would have totally voted for the MSR.
Well, the MSR already won one of these.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, you'd think they would have weeded it out.
People probably still like it.
Oh, I'm
well,
sure. They do.
all I know is if the Stevie doesn't win for the Road Warrior, I'm gonna fight somebody.
Right, so we're putting the C1 definitely in round 2.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
Sean's
only reason
got-
why I see the MSR not doing well right now is because one of its main things is the data mining, and there's no gameplay for it yet.
Oh, the MSR?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it does have a lot of cool points with the little hidden, the quote-unquote secret passages and stuff. Like, it is an interesting ship, but yeah, it is kind of been shuttered.
I
to a
feel like
degree.
it's also kind of out of the player base's mind at this point, since there are other ships that do
Well, then the
more
C1 you
more
can run
jobs better
1 to 2 people right now. The MSR, you really do need at least 3 people on that ship.
Yeah,
to
you
make
have
the
like
most of it. Yeah.
0 firepower. All right, so Road Warrior Division.
This one's a
Definitely
little hard for
Stevie.
me because I do have both of these.
Yeah, but I feel like you're leaning more towards the Ursa.
Well, because I'm an RSI, I'm an RSI fanboy.
Yeah, but how can you discount the Stevie,
I'm
the
not saying
indestructible
the Stevie's
beach
indestructible, but the Ursa medevac having that med bed is just like it's the key point for me.
But you don't need a med bed if you're in a car that can't blow up.
Yeah, but what happens when you get out of the car and you get shot
And
by someone
some
who's
loser
bored?
with a Nursa shows up. I'm just gonna say, how many tanks have you flipped with your Nursa?
None.
I'm judging by your silence that the answer to that is 0.
No, but I flipped the Nursa just driving down a straight road. Well, no, not a clear road because rocks. But
Oh,
the
you're talking
Nursa
about-
did survive. The Nursa is pretty durable. I'll give it that.
I guess a little bit, but it's so hard to drive anywhere that's not basically completely flat.
Oh, the
I think,
Stevie, I love it. It's quick. It's nimble. It could take a beating, but if you hit that rock, oof. If you hit something a little too fast, you will blow up.
All right, so we have a two-way split on the Road Warrior division.
So we need
That-
Sean to break the tie.
I already said. I think
he
Stevie.
chose Stevie.
Oh,
so,
well, then it's Stevie to the Ursa.
all right, so we got C1, Stevie. Next up, Pathfinder division.
Fuck
think
the
people
890.
I
It's
think
going to be the
people are gonna-
600.
Yeah, I was
think-
gonna say. I think people are gonna vote for the bedpan because they already did that before, and I think they'll do it again.
It
Well,
is the
just like-
more
like I said, the
attainable one.
The 890 doesn't belong there.
I don't know. I mean, you said that earlier, and I disagree with you. Not very strongly, but I do disagree. Because, like, yeah, the category is luxury, but when you think about what a Pathfinder is, it's...
I think the Carrick, the Connie Andromeda,
Aquila,
Okay.
you mean?
Aquila, yeah,
What's-
that's it. I think
What's the
something
difference between
going out.
the Carrick and the 890 that doesn't have to do with opulence?
Well, like I said, the 890. I feel like it's designed for as a luxury cruise ship. It's a yacht.
Right, but where are you cruising to? Far away places where you need a hangar, a med bed, huge fuel tanks, and technically fuel scoops, which used to work.
Yeah, I don't know if they still.
I
do.
don't
mean, there
feel
were
like the
so
890
many-
can defend itself properly in a pinch.
I mean, it's
I
got
mean,
like,
it-
what, 18 missiles?
It's got 18 missiles, 2 manned turrets, and then a couple.
I
of
said what I
remote
said.
Turrets.
He's just being hard-headed. He doesn't want to realize that he's wrong.
I mean, the 890 definitely could use more turrets, especially for a ship of its size. But I mean, it's not defenseless.
I mean, at least now you can actually exit them. Remember, you used to get trapped in them?
Yeah, it's like the poor man's prison.
I would have put the 400 on here.
I don't know. The 400's good if you're, like, headed to bunkers and stuff. I just can't see it being used for, like, a long-term...
What's also the way I see it is like, let's say we're going around Pyro. What's going to be more? I think the 600s could be more versatile than the 890.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't picking the 890. I'm just saying it does belong here. I too believe the 600i is the better choice, mostly because the size is much more manageable, especially for Pyro, where like landing zones are difficult to come
Smaller.
by and much
Well,
tighter.
like the 600i is really you can pretty much solo that ship.
Yeah,
Well,
and
maybe
it's-
not with all the repair stuff coming in, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, but right now flying and gunning, I mean, you can run it mostly by yourself.
Yeah, you do at least get some pilot controlled weapons on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my vote is the 600.
Oh yeah, hands down 600. Well, I also have to think like 600 with getting a custom paint job if it makes it to the top 4 would be cool. I don't see any like custom paint for the 890 looking decent unless it's like all black and gold.
Yeah. I mean, the 600's also won this a couple times, hasn't it?
I think it's made it to the end, but not won.
It hasn't won it? Okay.
No, I mean it's I don't know if it's I don't remember if they've won honestly, but I know it's gotten paints from at least being in the top 3 before a couple of times.
Yeah, it's made it to the top 4.
All right, that tracks. Sean, what's your vote here?
John, you there?
He's muted.
Oh my god.
He's probably yelling at his dog or something.
They bring the dog to Spain?
Yeah, dog flies first class.
He doesn't, dog does.
Yeah. Okay, I'm guessing.
What?
Sorry, somebody decided to move furniture right in the middle of this. I'm guessing your vote is 600 Sean?
Oh yeah, I said that from the beginning.
Well, we
Right,
can't
so
hear you.
we can all agree on that. 600i is going to win the Pathfinder division. Or it should.
Should. All right, next one. Underdogs. Terrapin and Gladiator.
This one
Which
I
they
don't,
really can't be compared to one another.
Yeah, they are very
Yeah.
different, aren't they?
this one I'm not sure about only because I don't really know what public perception is of these two ships. If anything, I would say probably the Terrapin would win just because I don't even know how many people know what the Gladiator is.
Well, I think it's funny because they advertise the Gladiator as like a bomber when it's actually just a torpedo ship. And not a good one at that.
Well, they do the same thing for the Retaliator. They still call it a bomber.
Yeah.
I guess in space, bombs are just torpedoes.
If they
I
called
feel
it a
like-
torpedo boat, I'd agree with the name 100%.
I feel like the Terrapin has been getting some attention more than
With the
usual, at least
videos.
on like Reddit and videos and stuff. Yeah, so I
I
feel
mean,
like
it
publicly.
is supremely tanky. Like
Well, that's true.
it can be used as a dropship of sorts.
Yeah,
get
and
away
it's
with
got
it.
plenty of room for people where the Gladiator is still under the fighter category where you have the pilot and then the gunner.
Yeah. However, I guess to make a case for the Gladiator, during Xeno Threat, I did see a lot of Gladiators flying around, and they must have got some kind of buff to their hull HP or something because they were duking it out pretty good.
I had a Gladiator at one point for a while, like purchased in game, didn't spend actual money on it. The one thing that weirded me out is the VTOL thrusters. How they're just kind of like worms that just shoot in every direction.
Yeah, the Hornet has those as well.
Oh god, they creep me the hell out.
It's the vectoring thrusters. They're not VTOL.
Whatever. I'd
gonna
like to see
go-
the Gladiator do well, but I think it's going to be the Terrapin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Terrapin on this because I've always liked the Terrapin in general.
I think I go with Terrapin only because I think it's going to win irrespectively.
But then
Well,
realistically, if the Gladiator wins this round, that really means it was the underdog.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess.
that's actually an interesting point. So if you look at the name of the category, are we picking the one that would win?
What's the
Based
real
on-
underdog and what's the...
Yeah,
Terrapin's
picking
going to
the
win
one
the
that would win
category,
the
but
popular
I believe
vote.
the Gladiator is 100% the biggest underdog.
I'm gonna stick with Terrapin. I'm going Terrapin.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry about that.
Now we got
So
Great
Terrapin
Value
wins
TIE
that
Fighter
division.
and then the Hot Rod.
I really hate both of these ships, but I guess if I had to pick one,
Doesn't
I
the
guess-
M50 have a quantum drive?
it does.
Yeah, it does.
And the Fury doesn't.
It
Nope.
does not.
However, I think if I remember correctly, the racers were praising the Fury, so I think the Fury would probably win that.
I didn't enjoy the Fury anytime I flew it. Like, the idea was cool, but one wrong move and that thing goes spinning out of control.
Well, yeah, if you lose an engine.
Yeah,
just-
I really want to like the Fury. I think it looks really cool. But I'm gonna have to go M50 on this one.
Yeah.
Just because it's Origin.
I'm just gonna say the Fury because I think it'll win the popular vote. That's all.
Oh yeah, Fury's gonna win, but I'd like to see the M50 win.
Okay, so I'm not picking the one that I think will win. I'm picking the one that I want to win.
Oh yeah, I want the M50 to win.
I don't really care either way. That's why I'm picking the one that I think will win.
I'm not gonna get. It's not gonna break my heart. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I would rather the M50 win than the Fury. Sorry,
Now the Reclaimer and the Vulture. See, this one is going to be a little hard because they're both the same thing, just one's a bigger version.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird category because I feel like when you think heavy duty, you don't really even think of the Vulture. It's like Reclaimer and Mole, like the larger multi-crew kind of work ships. I feel like the Vulture doesn't really belong here.
No, because
maybe
you can run two people on it, but
just because the Vulture's cooler.
I would have done like the Vulture and the Prospector. I think that would have been a better matchup.
Yeah. But between these two, I'm going to pick Reclaimer because I think like having to do less stops.
Yeah. So much storage room in the Reclaimer.
And
it was the biggest ship for a long time.
Sean, what'd you say?
I said I just think the Vulture looks cooler.
I mean, it does look cooler. The Reclaimer is not the prettiest ship in the game.
The current HP for the Polaris, I know this is a
off topic here.
Yeah, very off topic. But apparently the current HP for the Polaris, I'm very certain that this will get changed, but the current HP value is 100,236,000.
I don't know what that's equivalent to.
You had no point of reference on that, buddy.
No, to put it in perspective, no, that's the Polaris. So to put it in perspective, if we compare it to the 890 Jump, right, which is a similar size, that is, hold on, only 153,000 HP.
The Polaris is supposed to have that high of armor because it was the first combat ship. It didn't have shields.
100 million?
Yeah, it's supposed to it's not supposed to have shields on it.
It doesn't matter. Like, it's going to come out, it's going to be the most amazing ship in the game, and they're just going to nerf it into oblivion like they always do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Polaris.
I also suspect that this value is because this
I'm thinking the Perseus with the no shields.
Well, this was probably pulled from when they were doing having it do the flybys. So they probably buffed the HP to some
they definitely
insane
buffed that
value.
so people couldn't kill it.
So that people couldn't kill it.
Yeah, because then it would take like 1,000 890s crashing into it to blow it up.
Right.
That makes sense.
Because to put it in perspective, the Idris only has comparatively 22 million hull HP, where the Polaris has 200 million. Just an interesting little tangent.
Well, I mean, it came at the perfect time because we're about to hit the Alien Division, so we'll just go ahead and wrap this up with the Running Gun Division.
Yeah. I'm just going to get this out there. Most of these alien ships, I think, are just horrible. The Sullen, I thought it was a cool concept at first, and then I realized this thing is impossible to fly. You want to land, you have to land it vertically. You have no other option.
Which one? It's Sullen?
Whatever it's called.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't know. It's the only alien ship in the game currently that I actually like, apart from the Santakai.
It definitely looks cool. I will also say that I only know one person that flies it, and that's Dom.
Also Voro.
That opens up a whole bag of other problems.
Voro flies it too?
Yes.
Is that his daily?
That's his only ship.
Oh, okay. We need to have an intervention, I think.
Didn't Dave fly for a while?
He likes it, though.
Who did?
Didn't Dave have one?
I don't know.
Or was it just because it was free at the time?
I think it was. It might have
That's
been
probably what it
free.
was.
Yeah.
It was probably because it was a free ship. I don't know. I'm not a fan of any of the alien ones. I do think the Sealand looks cool, and the Santok Yai looks probably the coolest of the alien ships. Mostly my experience with them is just kind of like when they launch, kind of taking a ride in one, and that's about it. Like the Raylan stuff.
All right, the run and gun division, the one I think
To
whatever wins this, I think might win overall.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want the F8 Lightning to win.
Oh yeah, hands down. I would love to see the F8C Lightning, a ship that's
The
only select people have right now, gets its own custom paint job.
No, the only reason I want to see that one win is because, as far as I'm aware, there's like no paints for it, whereas the Hornet Mark II has a bunch of them already. So I'd be interested to see how it looks in like a completely different paint job, because I've only ever seen the base paint, and then also the um like I've seen the executive one around the
Yeah, we've
black and gold.
encountered that one a couple times.
I also think the Lightning is a better fighter than the Hornet.
Definitely has more firepower, right?
Yeah, it's got longer range. I think the Hornet has it on maneuverability, but the Lightning I believe will outlast it in a fight.
I'm so impatient. I think I just am picking the Lightning because it's so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in Atmo, like that thing's a bullet.
Well, it's also I'm thinking like if you had a squadron of 5 fighters, 5 Lightnings and 5 Hornets, and they had to go against a similar target, I think the Lightnings could go up in Idris on their own. I think the Hornets would have a struggle.
I mean, we did have a hard time though. I think in 319, 320, when right? No, actually a little later than that, probably 21 or 22, when the Mark II came out, and they were like swarming. The place where you get your crime stat taken off.
Oh yeah.
What's it called, Sean?
I know this.
Floating
Sure
outside
about that?
sound.
It's
Come on.
SPK.
SPK. There was a small squad of Hornets that were holding it down pretty well. So, I mean, they can fight.
Yeah, but I feel like the Lightning is just a heavier fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to pick the Lightning. It also just looks cooler. I'm not a huge fan of the Hornets, the design.
I think if the Hornet had like a smaller engine, like instead of that really big ass engine in the back, like a couple smaller engines, I think it would look a lot better.
I don't know. I don't have an issue necessarily with the design of the Hornet. I think my biggest gripe with the Hornet Mark II is the fact that they removed MFDs from the
God,
cockpit.
you and your MFDs.
Dude, they're really important, okay? I don't want to hear it.
Getting shot at. My MFD isn't showing it. No, just go.
So we're going to assume... Okay, so we're assuming the Lightning's taking this one, right?
Mm-hmm. And so that means whatever it's going against, it's going to win.
Yeah, so
the Lightning's going to move to the third round.
In the third round, Lightning for sure. Here we had the M50 that won on a 2-3, and the Reclaimer on a 2-3. So between those two, which is a weird matchup, like we're matching up this heavy duty versus like complete opposites of each other.
Well, it's also I like the Reclaimer because it reminds me of the Nostradamus from Alien.
Yeah, I think I don't know in these two categories. I think between these two, it doesn't really matter which one it is of these. It's going to
lose to one of those.
Yeah, but I feel okay, if I had to pick one, it'd still be the Reclaimer, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the popular vote's going to be the Vulture because it's much more attainable, kind of similar to the 600 versus the 890.
Well, I also think it would be cool if the Reclaimer actually got a paint job.
Yeah, I mean, it does have those ones that are based off the mining mineral colors that look pretty good. I think the Dolivine one, not the Dolivine, the Aphorite one looks pretty good.
What was it, last year, or was it the year before, they came out with that custom red paint job for all the ships that were in the Final Four?
Yeah, it was like Valentine's Day or something.
No, it was like You have it. It's like a hot rod red where the glass on the Carrack was red.
Oh yeah, the Carrack's window was red too, and it was really good because there's only one other paint with the red glass, and that's the Expedition.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the
Did they
Reclaimer look
remove the
awesome
red
with a
glass?
paint job like that?
I guess, but there's not really any windows on except the front.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like a bright paint job.
I think it'd be cool if they could do like that Vulture and Corsair graffiti one, but not like campy and lame. Like if they did like a real like this ship has seen some shit, like a train car from 1980s New York, you know, like that'd be cool.
I think we're missing the bigger picture here.
That the Vulture's gonna win.
No. That you can buy FS9s in Pyro.
Already talked about that.
No.
We'll circle back.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
It's okay.
So,
Listen, I've got ADHD. I don't know what your problem is, and I'm staying focused.
look, it doesn't matter, and none of this stuff here in the middle is going to matter. What it's going to come down to, realistically, is the C1 and the F8, right?
And also
I
maybe
really
the
think those
Stevie.
two are going to make it
If
to
they're-
the final two.
Stevie might also make it.
I don't
the
feel like
Stevie's gonna
Stevie's
lose
got the
to the
love,
C1.
man. Like I feel like nobody really understands Stevie the way we do.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we could be surprised. Maybe a YouTuber will rig the elections again like last time.
Well, okay. If anybody with that level of power is listening, Stevie, 100% all the way, all in. All right. Overall winner, as much as I would love it to be the C1, the
F8
C1 does
Hornet.
have a
I mean,
lot of
F8
paints, but
Lightning.
it's going to be the Lightning, right?
I would like it because I think that's the most practical of all these ships to win.
Yeah, I really don't like this divisioning that they have now. It seems kind
If
of
they did this, if they were
guardrail-y.
going to do divisions, I think they should have done more in the divisions, and then to make this a full March Madness bracket with like 48, like all the ships in the game.
oh, that'd be a nightmare.
No, just keep going every day.
But they had like multiple votings per day. That might be doable, but it would take like 2 months.
Well, no, it's like you pick like obviously there's freighter ships, there's combat ships, you know, you have like every category you pick one. Once you get down to like the top, like that's when you switch it to the everyday. Because right now this was all based on submitting, so we have really no idea who submitted what to be picked. For all we know, they just let's just spin a wheel and we'll pick.
Well, that's the
That would be
problem
nice.
overall. The
Like,
problem
I'm
overall
actually
is it's a
surprised they
popularity
went with the
contest.
Stevie over the Pulse, because I figured they would have thrown the newest vehicles in there.
Well, apparently the way that they pick them is by using that community post
Yeah,
thing
but
that they.
Who was going to make
I-
custom artwork or a Lego version of the ship? No, I wasn't going to do
Right.
that.
Yeah, but I feel like it should be a more clear-cut, definitive way. Like people submit art, but then there's still a vote somewhere that's like, hey, pick ships from this list to show up in the showdown, you know, and then people vote.
Yeah. I thought that they were weighing in usage stats as well, or is that maybe I read that wrong? Maybe that's what they were doing away with because the Cuddy always makes it into this thing.
Well, yeah, and they're probably like, no, I'm tired of the Cuddy making it and getting all this custom stuff. And we're like, well, yeah, because the Cuddy's freaking good.
Nobody said that, dude.
Let me rephrase that. It's the most used.
Yeah, there you go. I will give you that. It's definitely the most used ship.
I'm sorry. You gave me crap about eating, and what the hell are you doing right now?
What do you mean?
I heard you.
I'm chilling, dog.
Don't you freaking gaslight me.
How many sandwiches was that again?
2. Shut the hell up. Listen, I'm in great shape. Round is a shape.
I just wonder. So here's what I'm curious. Is like you have 2 sandwiches in front of you. Do you unwrap both of them,
No.
slide them next to each other, and rack them like a deck of cards?
Don't Scooby Doo that shit.
Yeah, Toss it up in the air and just eat it all in one gulp.
No, I don't Scooby Doo
Like,
that
oh
shit.
man, Scoob, I'm shuffling these sandwiches like a deck of cards.
No, I don't do that. I wish I could, but I don't. My mouth's not that big.
All right. So that about wraps that up. F8C Lightning all the way. Sadly, C1 should win.
I'm still. I think I'm gonna hold off buying the Lightning till it moves on to the final four.
Till that paint pops out.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
I think if you own it, you still get the paint, but it won't be associated with the ship.
Yeah.
All right. So you wanna move on to talking about Alpha 4.0 social behavior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Are
about
we
this?
are we watching this together? Or is it or
Are you gonna post photos while we're watching it?
I mean, I can like last time we kind of scrubbed through it. Do you want to do that? I don't know if we want to go through
Yeah.
it minute by minute.
Well,
That's
you-
kind of Salty Mike's job.
yeah, that is. No,
Should we just
I
change our
wanted-
names from
one
Heroes
thing I
of
wanted
Han
to
to
point
like
out.
saltier than Mike?
One
Keep
thing I
talking,
wanted
Sean.
to no, I just one thing I wanted to point out in particular was something that was brought to my attention by one of my friends. Did you just change his name to not Salty Mike? Anyway, is they mentioned that some of the hardheads or whatever the heck that gang is called, like one of the two main gangs in Pyro,
The headhunters.
the headhunters, that's what it is. They said they said that apparently they're going to be selling slave containers or something. So I don't know if that hints at the possibility that there might be slavery in Star Citizen, which is
Well,
like
from what I saw, it looked like the slave containers were no different than the
the cryopods.
cryopods for
Yeah,
bounty
they're
hunting.
just cryopods, like leaning against the wall.
Yeah.
I don't think I've never heard anything about there being plans for any of that kind of stuff. I think it's
No,
more of like
I
this
wouldn't be
is the kind of
surprised there's a
people-
mission for us to go in and release people from these containers.
I mean, that seems viable.
I just think it's funny because the notion of that, like, it does make sense, but it's more like that's more like something you would find in Ark Survival Evolved or Conan Exiles or
Yeah.
something.
I
So a
really
game
hope they don't
more
do this
along those
because Mike would have each of us in a slave container all the time. He'd just knock us out.
Yeah, okay. Like the only way this is happening is if they make Slave Leia armor and you both are in it.
Totally will do it.
I hear Alex is jingling
I
already.
was gonna say I think the only way that slavery in quotation marks would ever happen is if they did it to NPCs, because I don't think players would play ball with that.
No, there's no way. I think like Alex said,
I'd like to speak to my union rep.
The most viable thing would be like a rescue mission or something. There's no way they're gonna allow that. That's totally tone deaf.
Yeah.
That would not go over well.
Or if you're playing a criminal, you'd have to go in and get these containers.
Well, I'm sure there'd be somebody out there willing to RP. ERP.
Yeah, and those are the people that you like put on a list.
Yeah. Wait, a list?
One of those government lists.
Oh.
What kind of list were you thinking about?
No, don't worry about it. Nothing.
The other aspect that I thought was cool was this that actually popped up while we were talking is this like discharge and charge mechanic.
Oh yeah, where
Yeah.
you might have maintenance missions where you go in and have to fix equipment.
Yeah, it's like they didn't really illustrate it very much, but I'm thinking it's probably something like minigame or like mining minigame.
Yeah, it's it feels like it's riding on the idea of wireless energy transmission through microwaves. NASA's had a lot of similar concepts, and other private companies too, about putting basically large solar arrays in orbit and then beaming the power down to the surface. But that
Kind of
has
like a
its own
Dyson
set of-
sphere.
Yeah, or they've also talked about doing that with the moon too. But I don't think it's not very practical. I mean,
No.
No.
Well, I know what they talked about with the charging and discharging. Like when you get your ship EMP'd or you're hit with distortion weapons, your whoever's running engineering might have to run and hit components to discharge the energy from them to get them running again.
Like static electricity?
Well,
Is
like they'll
that what
be
you're getting at?
overloaded from distortion energy, and they're not going to work until you take your multi tool and basically absorb all the distortion energy into your multi tool.
Mike, can you go back to the where that guy was coming into land?
I don't want to hear about these MFDs. I
Look,
swear to God,
You're
I'm going to
going
fly out there
to.
and kick you.
My all I'm going to say is that
That center one
I
does look
wouldn't
very
have
Star Wars-ish.
I wouldn't have such a big issue with them if they weren't blatantly missing information because it is missing his weapon status, it is missing his what are they called? It's missing the G like the I don't know what you'd call it, but there's a three-dimensional indicator for G-force movement, which I use quite often. And there's just a bunch of HUD elements in general that are missing from the informational suite there. Like you have your speed, you have your afterburner, and there's still the issue of you don't know how much fuel you have. Like it just there's an arbitrary number, and you don't know how much fuel you actually have remaining. Uh, so I don't know. We'll have to see if ends up being their final version, but I'm still not happy with it.
I
But
think
that
actually, you know what? I just noticed something. So watch right here, right before he lands. This
pause real
might be
quick.
your G-force indicator right here.
Um, so right in the center, that center HUD display where it says "Work in Progress," all I'm thinking is A New Hope when they're in the Millennium Falcon shooting down Tie fighters.
Yeah,
You mean
that's
the radar? Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have an issue with the radar. I'm
No,
not
I'm just
talking
getting
about any of the
strong
MFDs.
it.
Millennium
Just looks
Falcon
like
vibes.
yeah, the Falcon's targeting for the turret. You just need the two side panel things that squeeze together
Yeah,
when you're
definitely.
aligned.
Those radars definitely look like an older style radar.
Yeah. So here, watch this. See, can you see my mouse? Yeah. Right here where
Yeah,
I'm circling, there's like a little red indicator.
We'll go back to where you were.
I think that's the G-force.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit. Pause it. See,
It's
Or is
on
that
the
like-
screen, dog. Well, that's velocity. That's one thing. That's like your speed, but there's a little
no,
little
but if you
bar
look
up
right
here.
next to that, there's your current like meters per second.
Yeah, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about the G-force indicator, which is like currently like if in 323, like you're flying, there's like a little green thing that wiggles around on an act like a two-axis plane.
3-axis XYZ. Or sorry,
It's two.
yeah,
Right?
no, because it also shows you.
Oh, that's right. You know what? You're right. Yeah, there's a blue line and a green line.
It shows you forward and reverse movement as well as lateral. So it is 3-axis.
I'm trying to see. I mean, that looks like it has like a number floating above it. So that must be the force, like the level of gravitational force.
No, I think that's the
I don't
throttle
know.
control.
It could also be that because
That's
that
this
is
line
also
right
another
here.
piece of information that could potentially be missing. Is you know how when you use the scroll wheel to change your speed limiter,
Oh,
like
that's right.
the speed limiter is either missing or that is the speed limiter that the guy is using right there.
Maybe. I guess we'll find out in a couple of months when it comes
Years,
out.
yeah, a couple of years. I do like this, like repairing the pipes. I feel like it's a little bit simple though, although I guess,
Give
this
it
is
time.
kind of unavoidable. Like you can't.
So are these like missions kind of like prison, where you're doing little tasks within the confines of these structures?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it seems like you're just going around getting things fixed, making sure the building doesn't fall apart. Like we saw, they were gonna have like hand salvaging tools, missions, where you go and just hand scrape panels down.
Yeah, actually, what I understood about that is like if you land at these non-landing zone areas, they're just kind of like spots for you to park and like repair yourself. They don't have any kind of services to them. that there's these panels that spawn in to provide you with RMC to like repair.
Yeah. So God, this place just has
they
such
show
strong
them-
Moss Easley vibes.
Well, so the only problem
See,
with that, Mike,
these panels right here that spawn in.
the only problem with that, Mike, is that I don't know if you'll be able to actually repair at all. Like, you can do hull repair, right, which is the only repair type that they have currently implemented. But I don't know if you'll actually be able to repair systems like broken guns and things.
Well, no, right now this is just patching up the holes in your ship.
Right, but
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
We
Like,
also, as far as I know, we haven't seen what component repair looks like. So it could still utilize this panel material, and you just beam it back and forth at the thing, and it might fix it.
Yeah, for right now,
Right,
you
but
just
what if the gun's
point the gun
falling
at
off?
Well, that's different. Like weapon repairs, I don't think I've heard any talk about that. It's mostly just replace.
And there then that also does beg the question, like, what if the entire engine fell off in space, and so there's nothing to repair because it's not there?
Well, you're
Go out
not
and grab
landing
it.
at an outpost if there's no engine on your ship, dog.
Well, you can, like,
It's going to be a hard landing.
yeah, well, yeah, but that's my point. Like, if that's the only place you could land, and you don't have that engine, I don't see how you would repair it without
No,
some
that's-
sort of repair services.
Yeah, but that's
These are for
not the
places
point,
that don't
you know?
have actual
Yeah.
landing pads.
It's more
Right.
like if you're in that scenario, you need to call somebody to tow you, or give up.
Or try your best, I guess.
So sell what's left of your ship, and use that money to pay somebody for a ride.
Sell what's left of your ship for salvage, you mean?
Yeah, you can do that. But when I saw this, what I was thinking was that these panels will never be there because all the vultures are just going to come and scrape these guys.
Yeah, either that or people scrape them and they just never respawn. So
Yeah.
Or they'd load them up in the back of their ship, just take them and scrape them someplace else.
yeah, that's also a possibility. Like
So we'll
they
have to
need
see.
if they're relying on those to be around, they need to be constantly spawning in.
Change the topic here. One thing I did remember they were talking about in the video about the planets, like the further the planet is going to be from the Pyro star, the less radiation you have to deal with, but the more hostile the environment will be.
Yeah, like
Well,
colder.
yeah, it'll be much colder.
Yeah. But then you don't have to worry about the solar flares affecting you as much.
Right. Which will be interesting. I mean, it'll
I mean, you're trading like a periodic danger for like full-time danger, though. So I don't know if that's really.
Well, like
worth
I was
it.
talking about in our chat earlier, I would much rather have a constant like high wind danger at an outpost that we have, like once we get the base building, because just throw out some wind turbines, we got constant power.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's totally different thought process, though. It's like one is you're talking about where you'd build a base for yourself. The other one is like where you're just gonna decide to spend time. And I think I would pick the one that's more dangerous less often than the one that's just always freezing cold and dangerous. But that's just me.
I'd still probably pick the worst environment because that means there's not going to be a lot of people out there.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I would like to see a planet where the atmosphere is so rough that the small ships have a hard time landing.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
even
there
know
will
how
be.
that would work.
Well, I remember
I
a long
think-
time ago that if you left your you left your engines on or off, if the winds picked up, it'd just take your ship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
if you left
still
your engines
happens.
Here's another
Happens to a
aspect.
lot of people.
They were showing off these little component things, these other little mini jobs to repair. But what I got from that is also these parts that you get to do that job, you could use to repair your own ship.
Yeah, because that looked like just the fuse that were on the A2.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's opportunities for scrounging, which I think is while it does have certain caveats, it's nice world building and like opportunities for kind of a little bit of emergent gameplay.
I do also like the outposts here. Like this little settlement that they show off here, I personally think it looks a lot better. Like this entire settlement in general looks a lot better than some of the places that I saw in Starfield, like Aquila City, for example.
It definitely. Duh, I 100% agree with you. I do need to nitpick something though. Like if you're gonna display these, supposedly handwritten signs
Wouldn't
that
they be
say
a little
Right.
dingier?
they should be a little, well, they should be a little different. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
right identically
Well, I
on
don't
each
even know
one.
why there's two equipment signs there in general. Like the one on the right doesn't. There's not even really anything in front of it to like be displaying.
But I'm kind of digging that helmet there, right near the mouse.
This one,
That's just an Artemex
that's the
helmet, I think.
Artemex, yeah.
Oh,
Now I did see a new like face mask and hood um, outfit at some point in this video. I think it was when they were getting to the gang, one of the gang hideouts. There is also
Okay.
that like fisherman deep
yeah,
sea helmet.
he's got it right there.
It's like a knight helmet from Fallout.
You mean like the
One
power
of those,
armor helmet?
yeah, the power armor
Kinda.
helmet.
Yeah, kinda. I can see. Like it's like somebody took a diving helmet and a like power armor sort of mixed them
All I'm
together.
saying
Yeah.
is, all I'm gonna say is, if I go to any of these outposts, we walk into a bar and I hear da 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 da, da I'm gonna kill everybody.
I don't think they could
No,
anyway.
you don't want to mess
Copyright.
with Disney, man. There's no way that there might be a parody.
Oh,
Okay,
this right here.
there's another
See,
outfit right here.
yeah, this one,
Definitely not a
Carson,
space outfit.
no, but Carson was pretty excited about this one because it
Oh,
does look pretty sick.
this has Martinez written all over it.
This
Hey,
looks
there
like
was that
a
one day
Duke
I
of
stole
Arrakis
all of
type
that
deal.
equipment from the refinery,
Uh huh.
and we never got to do the job.
Yeah. Sorry. There's another little divery looking helmet in blue.
They look cool though.
Mixed match of armor.
Yep. I don't know. I think they did a really good job with all these settlements in general.
Yeah.
They
I,
look
I
really
think these
unique.
I remember they talked about settlements are going to be more spaced out because they don't
This guy
need to
looks like
be.
he's wearing a World War II helmet.
They said because of the way the power works in these settlements, that there's not one central power plant, because it's basically it's on the fringes, so they have to manage power. That settlements are going to be bigger and more spaced out. I would like to see it spaced out enough where ground vehicles are useful.
We,
As long as there's roads or something like a road.
Well, like look with this image with the settlement, there's roads, at least
I
flat
hate to
enough
break it
land.
to you, Alex, but when they were talking about power, like central power, they were talking about there's no central government.
Like government power. So what is that right there?
So that was something I spotted earlier. Was it looks like there might be meteor showers on one of the planets?
Is
Because
that is
that
that
looks like a meteor.
or is it a ship entering Atmo?
No, that is. I will be perfectly frank with you. I have never seen a ship enter atmosphere that quickly in this game. There's always some air resistance, even on moons, with relatively low frictional air resistance. I've never seen a ship go that fast through atmosphere.
You think that's
'Cause
just skybox, or is that something that would actually be physical that
I hope
could
it
present a
would be physical,
danger?
because that would be really cool.
I'd be
Like
really
on
pissed off if
Pyro.
I'm just chilling like we are now and we just get hit by a meteor.
Yeah, it'd be funny though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's also the possibility that the meteor doesn't blow the ship up. It just like heavily damages you.
Well, I would see if it just rips through the shields, maybe pings the engine off.
No, I mean,
Well, I mean,
if it hits you, it's blowing you up.
That depends how big it is.
Man, I have been completely sleeping on chat. I'm sorry to the people that are watching live. I've been so distracted.
Cinderella cosplay. What?
That's our friend from Pow World.
Okay. No, I was just curious because there's some different names I haven't seen before.
I had her watch on night because she wants to get back into streaming, but she's thinking about streaming on TikTok and stuff. And I'm telling her like, well, you know, you're gonna have to get a fan base built up for that. And she's thinking about different software to use. I said, just check out
I do like
Riverside.
this little background screen that they decided to add to the trading kiosk, so it's just not completely blank. It's like just a little picture now of like a cargo room.
Yeah, we're at the cargo station. So what do we have in the background? Cargo.
I should have put
Also,
the Windows 98 background.
Oh, that hill.
Yeah.
Well, there it is,
wanna
right
talk
there.
about-
Just
Yeah,
dead.
there.
Did you want to talk about the Zeus cameo? There's
Yeah,
like
actually,
three of them.
we rolled by that like a minute ago, and I was like, "Oh, there's the Zeus."
We got to see the ass end of the Zeus.
Well, you actually see the
That's in
full
the beginning
thing.
of the video.
The full thing is in here. You get a full view. You
Well,
just find it.
Yeah, I know there's a Zeus flyby in the beginning where you got to see the engines.
Yep. And the cockpit. And the cockpit. Yes, sir. No, it's
not that
it's
far
farther
back.
in.
Yeah.
No. It's where they were doing the panning shot of that the settlement where the right before the scene with the meteor, I believe. It's like no, you already went too far.
Yeah.
I remember the rear shot of the Zeus was towards the beginning.
No, let it keep going. I believe it's coming
Let
up
it
here
cook.
in a second. Let him cook, let him cook.
Let it cook. There it is. Finally.
Oh yeah.
So you get a full view of the Zeusy boy right there.
And I forget, like the wings they fold out a little bit when you're flying, right?
Maybe.
I don't think they're straight
feel-
vertical all the time.
No, I feel like this is landing gear down pose.
I think it's gonna have such a much smaller cross section from the front and the side than the Cutlass. I'm hoping that the overall it shows up a lot less on radar as a result. In general,
Yep. Yeah, it definitely looks like that. It's smaller than I thought it'd be, though. There is some
it is
scale
also
here.
farther away. So
Yeah, but not much. Like, look at this. These trees are all about, not that one, but like these trees are all kind of all about the same height.
Well, it's definitely gonna be shorter than the Cuddy Black.
Yeah, it's
Well-
definitely not as tall, but it's also not as, like, overall I thought it was a little bit bigger, you know?
I don't know. We still have to see them side by side anyway before we can really compare the two apples to apples.
You mean like apples to potatoes?
Apples to mushy old pear found under the fridge 3 months after it's expired.
Yeah, something like that.
Like I said, I know if we scroll towards the beginning of the video, we'll see the flyby of it.
Oh yeah, that's like within the first 30 seconds, dude. You got this macho man approaching.
Yeah.
He's approaching the pirate gang. That's such a pretty shot.
Yeah, dude,
right
that
there.
Nah,
Dude, that would
go
be
away.
so cool if they added hurricanes and stuff into this game.
No. I don't want.
yeah. And there's like a Florida-shaped piece of land.
There we go.
There
That's
it is. The Zeusy.
Zussy.
Yeah.
I don't have
That's
the
the
audio.
cockpit.
Do they
That
mention
is the
which
cockpit.
pyro planet this is?
I think that one is the one with like the rocks with the hats on top. I think that is either, I forget if it's the middle planet or the farthest planet from the sun.
Very safe, lots
Um,
of security. In Pyro, there's no such thing. You're very exposed to the danger.
Naturally, Pyro
Like
1,
this blue
closest
one.
to the sun, is going to be the heaviest influence of the solar flare firing off. So how do those people
Oh,
live?
maybe it is.
But the people
Is this
furthest away
Pyro
from the
one?
star on Pyro 6 are going
So
to
they
have
were
the
talking
least amount
about-
of radiation.
I don't,
Right
I
here
don't think
he's-
they're saying it in order.
Maybe, but right here he says like if you're the closest to it, So this could be the one that's closest to the star. I mean, it does look pretty big
It's
here.
going to be
Yeah,
the heaviest
but I
influence of
don't
the
know
solar
why
flare firing off.
this
So
would be
See how much bigger
relatively.
the
Yeah, I
star
don't
looks
know.
on this one
how do those
I don't
people
know.
live? But the people furthest away from the
Compared
star
to
on
here.
Pyro 6 are going to have the least
So
amount
this
of
is
radiation,
6.
but it's also going to be super cold at the same
And see
time.
how small it
How do
is?
those people
Hold on.
live instead?
Right.
We don't know for sure if what they're saying matches the images.
Yeah.
Well, that's true,
the
but if we look
problem.
at it logically, like
Well,
this
this
is
one
clearly
is probably going to be Pyro 5, Pyro 6, because we can see there's snow and ice.
it's very cold, right? We just talked about that. But
Yeah.
also, if you look at this little guy, it's a star,
Yeah.
and when you're further away from stuff, it's smaller.
They were also talking about one of the
In
plans.
Stanton, you have huge landing zones.
Oh, can we please change the image? That's just the cursed one right now.
Here, I'm gonna find a better one. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty. They were talking about, I think it was like Pyro 4 was going to be basically just an outpost. You're going to have to stop there on your way out to Pyro 6.
Yeah, it's like a Stuckies. It exists solely for the fact that you need to use the bathroom and get gas.
Well, most ships aren't going to be able to make that trip, but I presume that there will still be a great number of ships
Exposed
that
to
can
the
make
danger.
that trip.
Everything is
Such
a
as the
lot more
Starlifter.
spread out. People aren't huddled into
Yeah.
landing zones. They have the entirety
the cutter.
of the system to roam across.
Watch the
There are
Rambler be
no
the only ship
central
that can
sources
cross
of
this
power
entire
in the
system.
Pyro star
I
system.
can't
It's
hear
all
you.
Decentralized,
Yeah, he's
and each outpost has its own different
video's
identity.
talking over you.
I can't
Really?
hear, when you guys are talking and the audio's on, I can't hear a damn thing.
Dude, I have it like as low as it can possibly go. But anyway.
I know. I think it competes with you for priority is the problem.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
I guess FS9s are just the criminal's weapon.
I can't wait to buy as
All
many
of
as I
them.
can possibly buy. I haven't seen any railguns or anything being shown off, but supposedly you're supposed to be able to buy them here too.
Yeah,
Just-
I wouldn't be surprised.
Just load up a C2 with nothing but FS9s, railguns, missile launchers. We go back to Stanton, just wreak havoc.
I mean, I could wreak havoc in Pyro and not get in trouble, so.
Yeah.
But
Where's the
only
fun in
against
that?
certain gangs.
If they got a jump town going, wouldn't it be great just to everyone just pop up around the corner with nothing but railguns?
I love the mountains on that were just shown on that planet. They seem a lot more extreme than any of the ones that I've personally seen in Stanton, at least.
Yeah,
And-
like what's that place with the... Man, I am terrible at this. The place with the wrecked 600i that we explored.
I think that was on Daymar.
Yeah, but the area around it kind of has peaks like this too.
Yeah,
really
but
extreme
they're not as
peaks.
impressive. I don't, in my opinion. Like,
I'm gonna change subject real quick. We go back. I don't care what we have to do. I'm not farming an outpost. I will stock up a caterpillar with double dogs and fly them in. I'm not farming.
dude, you're
Oh,
just
man.
you're just like those raiders in Fallout 4. Like, you know the ones from the Nuka World DLC, where like,
Nope, haven't played it.
dude. Well, anyway, you like can bring them in and tell them to take charge of a settlement, and then if you try and put them to work as farmers, they'll say like, hell no, I'm not doing that. And then you have to assign like a normal settler to do the farming.
No, I'm just with this game. There's so much to do. I'm not gonna spend my time farming in space.
Yeah,
no,
resource
we-
gathering, definitely not doing that. Sean, you can
No,
handle
we-
all that.
No,
Running
we can just-
logistics, like running cargo, I don't mind. But sitting
just
and
bring in
waiting for
food.
plants to grow, no, not doing that. I'll play farming
we can just
simulator.
bring in food.
Yeah, we'll just find a group of guys who enjoy that, and we'll just take their stuff.
Yeah, I'll plant devil dogs and grow myself a double dog tree, and then I'll just be happy.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine you having like a few of them and putting them next to each other.
And you guys are like,
shuffling them
"That's
a
never
deck
gonna
of
happen."
cards.
You're like, he's an idiot. He's never gonna get those to grow. No one has to hardly tell him. Then like a week later, you guys come back, and I've got a full like spruce tree with double dogs hanging off of it, and I'm like, screw all of you. These are mine.
I mean, that tracks.
And you're just sitting there. I go, I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Probably AI generated.
Doesn't matter. I've got my double dogs.
Yeah, but I don't know. These settlements all look really, really good. Especially the interiors. I'm a huge fan of the kind of like homey, uh, Moss Isley kind of feel.
Well, because Stanton is all corporate and everything, corporate based, so it's all about structured settlements. This is like people live here.
Yeah, is this food right here, or is this supposed to be
think so.
Amnioshi plague stuff?
I think those are drugs.
Either they're food or they're really, really nasty. Either it's nasty food or I don't know. Because
drugs.
In Pyro
Drugs.
in those space
Drugs.
stations. In those space stations,
Drugs.
you can buy.
Hold on. All right,
What?
go. I muted him.
You can buy those little bugs. The little bugs to eat.
Uh-huh.
That was it. That was all I had to say.
Oh, you should have just said that. All right, you're back,
Well,
Alex.
I couldn't.
Drugs.
I couldn't say it.
Look, this guy's got like 4 packs of smokes here.
Dude, he had to go get the Marlins or whatever the freaking heck they're
Marlin.
called.
The
It
baseball
sounds like
team?
it sounds like a movie brand of cigarettes.
Dude,
Sweetheart, can you run down to the gas station and get me some smokes?
You should have said, "Get me some Marlins."
Some Marlins.
dude, that just goes to show you how much I know about cigarettes.
No.
which is, like,
Get me the
absolutely nothing.
menthol Marlins.
500 cigarettes.
Then go get Esther. We're gonna go play some bocce ball.
Dude, you are so Florida, it hurts.
I really do
Boca.
love these repair pits. These like very Star Warsy repair pits that they've got.
Yeah, I'm gonna nitpick a little bit on these. Is these swinging grappling hooks are really
The
obnoxious?
claws, yeah.
Like they,
The cranes.
I don't know why. Like the windmills don't bother me, but just like these claws that are arbitrarily swinging.
Well, I guess like, it would fit if they had like a cargo port and there were cargo ships, but
Yeah.
it's
I
not
do-
like you're gonna have a whole sea land here and pull the cargo off.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's just straight like asset rip from Brios.
Yeah. And you know what? If it gets the product out faster, then asset ripped away.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna complain. I'm just nitpicking.
You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna pull up someplace with the Ursa Rover. We're gonna come back. It's gonna be out on blocks. We're like, can't have nothing in this town.
Yeah.
Not with
Dude,
Stevie though.
Space
can't
Detroit.
I can't wait to fly a pulse into the buildings and just gun down people.
I thought you were just gonna fly straight into the building and die. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't
No,
rock
no,
and
no.
die.
It's
Cool
assuming he
breeze
makes
hits
it.
you and you die.
No.
If you mount the pulse wrong, you die.
This shot in particular, I really liked these 2 shots of this little settlement. I think these look really nice.
Yeah, these. I don't know what it's like where you guys are at, but in the 80s, 90s, there's gas stations that had lights like this, and it reminds me of that.
They do
You
have
remember
they do
how
have
old
some
I am,
lights
right?
like that here in Europe in
No, how old
specific
are you?
spots.
Shut up. You and I are about the exact same age.
You're 25?
Ha ha ha! You're not that young.
He's 25 inside. That's
Yeah,
okay.
you're ruining my lore building.
You do realize half the people in our group are just children with drinking permits.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anything on this screen that's
Not
unique.
really.
No.
Doesn't seem like it.
Just Arden stuff, some rockets.
Anvil backpack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can buy.
Oh,
you can
wait,
also
hold
buy
on.
them. Oh wait, what?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on.
What are you watching?
Yeah, do you see that? This is our the podcast YouTube, and it has the weirdest recommendations. Watch when he goes into the terminal.
100
Bro
million?
is banking.
That's not what I was looking at, though. I thought I saw him pull up a missile launcher. Like, not the ammo. What was that in the top left-hand corner?
Looks like a ship weapon.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a pitchfork, but the glare on the screen makes it
It
kind of
just
hard
says
to see.
volume 2400 SCU. Could be a container.
84,000, and it costs 6.2K. I'm trying to look at it, but my microphone is so far away from the screen. Sorry, I'm sure this is riveting content.
What's that? Go back. What's that? Go back.
I can't read it. It looks like it might be placeholder text.
Probably.
Maybe. That's always possible.
I think it says SLS test. It's hard to tell.
It is always interesting to take a look at this stuff though when it comes out, because I think this one in particular, this video and the previous one, they had a lot of content that was just really interesting to get a look at in general.
Yeah, I was gonna say before I got distracted by that dude's huge wallet, that I wish I could be one of those dudes who could like dedicate the time to go through here like frame by frame and see all the stuff that's, all the Easter egg stuff, like these hubcaps. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, the Ursa hubcaps.
It's like Ursa hubcaps. That's pretty cool.
I'm every time I see the wind turbines for power, I just want it to be like wherever my outpost is. You guys come visit. And you're just like these things are spinning like helicopter rotors.
Yeah.
You walk in. You're just like, wow, the lights are really bright. Can you turn them down? I'm just sitting there crying. I can't even turn them off. There's too much power.
I just imagine you sitting out there throwing double dogs at them, watching it get chopped up.
I come in, my armor's tan. That's how bright it is.
You have like a perfect tan line around your face through the little eyes.
Freaking real. Is that guy cold?
I like that guy's helmet a lot. I know I said that before, but it does look like a World War II helmet. Reclaimed water. Oh, my favorite.
It's 100% refiltered piss.
Yeah. Spit, pee, and sweat. It's like they
delicious.
wring out Alex's undersuit.
Oh, dude, no.
It's got that brisket flavor to it. Why does this water smell like smoked sausage? Don't ask.
Dude, that's like they have some cheeses here that are smoked, and they smoke them in with the ham, like in the same room, or something, because they low key taste like that. It's like, you eat the cheese, and then it tastes like ham as well as cheese.
You're excited. Feel these nipples.
Yeah, it sounds like Alex's dream. He's booking his ticket to Spain now. So, speaking of, this is your last episode overseas. You're coming back to your homeland.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be really weird seeing a woman avatar with your voice coming out of it.
you can quick switch avatars all you want. So
I think what he means is that you're going to be on the ship with us finally.
Yeah, we don't have to look at the Commander Shepard because all of us have done something, Star Citizen themed or space themed. You just went with the
space themed.
Yeah, no, that's a video game.
Seriously, you're seriously gonna
we
say
had
this
space
isn't
suits
space
and all that
themed?
stuff, and you just copped out and did Commander Shepard. You could have went with a Star Citizen image. No, Commander Shepard.
Okay.
Everything you respond with in the chat is Mass Effect themed.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not. Here, actually, you know what? I'm gonna fix this. We already fixed my name for the show.
Not salty, Mike.
There we go.
See, that's. Do you want to tell him or should I?
Hold on.
Oh God, what's my becoming?
There.
Shepard. Careful,
Oh,
you're gonna
you
make him
killed him.
choke, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm lightheaded. I had to mute myself.
I thought you swallowed your microphone.
Oh god, no, not yet.
Well, that went off the rails really quick.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my name. I'm like, oh god, what's happening?
We had one of the chat say that you can when you bottle up your sweat and sell it, it's easy money.
No,
Yeah.
I think they were talking about the smell of the cheese.
No,
The smell
I mean,
of the cheese.
I think if we bottled up Alex's, we could make a couple bucks.
Oh, I know. Living in swamp ass land definitely guarantees that you're going to be losing water in excess.
Yeah, I actually hope that you end up on that cold planet so we don't have to suffer through too much of your reclaimed water.
Oh my god.
You're just toweling me down and wringing it out. Oh, got more water for the week.
It's gonna be like wearing a garbage bag and running on a treadmill, except just you sitting there eating hot dogs.
I'm absolutely mortified by the thought that our base could be entirely comprised of his sweat only. like the reclaimed water from our base for our base.
Yeah, just like huge
We have a garden
1,000 gallon.
going. We have a garden going with sprinklers. It's just me on a treadmill, just with tubes hooked up to me.
Just cistern after cistern of reclaimed water.
What shall we call my bottled sweat?
Oh man,
Alex bathwater? I don't know.
that was rough, dude.
Wait, is it like holy water? If I put like one drop of sweat into a bucket of water, does it all become all of my sweat?
It's like that. I think what was it, Mission Impossible, when they designed that thing that would like freeze all the water it touched, except yours just stinkifies it.
No, dude. Now
You
you're
open
just...
up a can, it's like, oh god, that's potent.
That's terrible.
I'm just picturing now. I take my helmet off. All you can hear is
Just a pressure release.
as I walk. You just hear sloshing.
You know, you sweat so hard it actually builds up pressure in your undersuit.
You would be a terrible Spartan for that reason. Like if you were hypothetically a Halo Spartan, you'd be terrible because your suit would just fill with
There's
water.
a lot of reasons why I would be terrible. That is nowhere near the top 10.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review and share it with your friends. It really helps us out. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts and engage with our community. We'll be back next week with more Star Citizen shenanigans. Until then, fly safe, citizens.